Thank you for allowing us to interview Dr. Pete Pollock. Could you tell us a little bit about a career advice that you would like to give to the students so they can succeed?
Thank you. Um, Today in the space industry, we see more change. We see a lot of people with a lot of new ideas, a lot of new hopes. It's tremendously encouraging, I think. Um, there are entire new companies and individuals, some of whom are very visible in the media, and they are working super hard to build whole new systems for making space hardware. I think it's great. I think it's really great. Um, at the same time, there's still a very organized old industry there, but they're trying to ramp things up, speed things up, make things more efficient. You're going to be working in an industry where you are working hard. I promise you that. It's going to be exciting because you're going to see a lot of hardware being built in the very same factory where you are. And now that's been true for a lot of people for some time, but not always. Things got kind of separated in the old days. But anyway, it's exciting. It's a very fast-paced work put, and you're going to have to try to find that balance that works for you for your life. How much time do you want to put into this? Do you really want to sell your soul? Um, what what do you hope to get out of it yourself? It'll force you to make those changes. But I think this is an excellent time to be looking for new careers. It's an exciting time.
Dr. Pete Pollock, thank you again for allowing us to interview you. Wondering about any advice you have from lessons learned from your career.
Yeah, so, I was out there working in advanced modeling of rockets, modeling of other kinds of vehicles, and modeling of hypersonic vehicles, that kind of work. And it was tremendously exciting. I mean, you're seeing some really cool technology, and it's challenging you. It's really challenging you as a scientist and engineer to figure out how we're going to get this. But listen, one thing I always told the engineers working for me: keep your models simple. Simplify them as much as possible. Trust me, you'll want to do it, because I'm going to ask you as a manager, when I look over your work, to tell me why everything is in that model, and how did you validate it, which means how did you prove it's correct. So the idea that these highly complex models that you see in digital grids on computer screens will be the most effective way to model something is not true. You need to really think this through very hard. Keep things simple. Second of all, the analysis and the test are never separated. You're analyzing important hardware. You may be analyzing it when it's tested or when it's flying. Either way, as much as possible, be at the test, because stuff happens out at the actual test site that doesn't always get reported back. And when you see things actually tested with your own eyes, it puts things a much better in perspective, and you suddenly realize, oh, there's another possible explanation here we didn't see before. Thank you.
Dr. Pete Pollock, do you have any advice for the students in an interview, in a job interview?
Yeah, and here today I'm talking about a little bit about what to do when you show up at a big company. You're really excited. You're hoping to get a good job, and there's a few things you don't want to do. First thing is, if you go into a big company and you interview somewhere, make sure that's the place you want. All right. Several times I had students come in and say, well, yeah, I'm really interested in this job in structures, but on the other hand, that job in fluid mechanics looked pretty good too. Wow, that is a major big mistake to make because people get the impression you're kind of wishy-washy with your focus. And these days you got to understand that the company environment is highly productive. People are working hard out there, and you're going to be going into a place where you're doing exciting work. You're working with great people, but you gotta want to be there. So first of all, figure out, are you really serious about the job you're applying for? Do you understand the department you're applying for? That's so important. And if you tell them you really want to work there, you have to mean it. It's kind of like not a, oh, I'm not sure what I want to do here. Second thing about interviewing is you've got to really convince your boss you want to come in and be a productive person. Because first and foremost, that's what they need. It means lately they've lost somebody due to retirement or illness or something, and they need to get some work done. Their workloads are piling up in there, and so you've got to convince them that on the day when you come in, you're going to start to get on your feet. You're going to start to be able to do projects for them. You're not going to be some person sitting in the corner who's trying to collect a paycheck and nothing is coming out. This is a work environment with a very high throughput. There's a lot of work going through. Don't get intimidated by it. They'll train you how to do the work. They'll give you a lot of training, but don't just sit around thinking something's going to happen. Nobody out there is looking for some new student to come in with a big look of, well, I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen on their face. It's about you making things happen. You making things happen. That's going to make a big difference.